Hello, I've been asked to show a quick video on how to play the Race to Infinity game. Race to Infinity maths game is a game that helps children love maths. It has certainly helped my children love maths, and so many others that I know. So I'm just showing you how. You should have 4 playing tokens and 2 12-sided dice and a pack of luck cards and different denominations of credit tokens, and then of course a board. Now at the start it says that every player actually starts with no credits at all, and then use the box lead as a cash vault and take out, first of all, from the credit tokens, take out 8 hundreds, so 8 of this, take out 8 of this, and leave them out of the whole pile of credit notes, and then take out 12 of the 50s, take out 12 of the 50s, take out 8 of the 20s, and take out 12 of these 10s, and leave them out in the box itself cover. And then also just shuffle all the credit tokens and the luck cards. So shuffle them like this and shuffle the rest of the credit tokens. Then you put the credit tokens on at the bottom part where it says tokens here. Just lay them face down on here. They should be face down. And then put the luck cards right here. So the luck cards should go on here. Alright? And face down as well. And so you take the dice, and every time you roll the dice, so you place your player tokens on the 0 spot, you know, which is the red spot down the bottom here, and place all your player tokens there. And every time you roll the dice, if you're playing level 2, there are 2 levels. You can play level 1 or level 2. Let's talk about level 2 first. If you're playing level 2, when you roll the dice, you have 4 options of what to do with your 2 dice numbers. You can either add them, you can subtract them, you can multiply them, or you can divide them. Now, if the numbers would give you a remainder, then you cannot divide on that turn. Now, you are trying to get from 0 to infinity. You're trying to get from 0 to infinity. Infinity is in the middle. So you can't go straight up like this. You'd have to go this way or that way. You can either move backwards or forwards at any point in time. So even if you're there and you then decide you want to move backwards or forwards, you can. But you can only move backwards or forwards on every turn. You cannot move backwards and forwards in one turn. And then don't forget that you have 4 options of what to do with your dice. You can either add the numbers, multiply them, take away, or divide. Now, if you're playing level 1, then you can either just add the numbers or subtract them. Now, every time you land, the goal of the game is to be the first player to get to infinity with 200 credits in your possession. And that person would be the first player, that would be the player to win. Now, to get in here, though, you'd have to go through here, or here, or here. And you have to land on here, on here, or here. So if you're here, for example, and you roll a 9, and a 3, you'd want to divide those numbers so that you can land 1, 2, 3 on here. You cannot do 3 plus 9 and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't do that. You've got to land on here, or on here to be able to go in and get to infinity. Also, on infinity, you also have to make sure that you land on infinity, because you cannot go past infinity. So again, if you are somewhere here and you roll an 8 and a 4, then you do 8 minus 4 and land on infinity. If you land on somebody else on the same spot, so for example, if you land on me, let's say if my token spot was here, if my playing token was here and you landed on me, then you have 2 options. You can either banish me to evens luck or odds luck down the bottom here, or you can charge me 50 credits at your discretion. So you choose what you want to do. If you choose to banish me, if I'm being banished into evens luck, then what you do is you take my piece, my playing piece, you take my playing piece and you actually place it in the evens luck. Or if you're banishing me to odds luck, you place my playing piece and you put it in odds luck. So if I'm in the evens luck, or odds lock, then I have to roll 2 odd numbers to come out, and when I come out, I land on here. And when I roll 2 even numbers, if I'm here, I need to come out and land here. Apparently, there's a 1 in 4 chance that you're going to roll 2 evens or 2 odd numbers. However, there's a get out clause, because if I don't roll 5 if 5 turns have actually gone by and I haven't actually rolled 2 odds or 2 evens, depending where I am, then I can come out for free. Instead of banning me, you can actually also charge me 50 credits. Now, if I don't have any money, or if I don't have up to 50 credits and you're charging me for 50 credits, or if I pick up a lock card that says pay a certain number of credits back to the cash vault, and I don't have it, then I need to lose 1 turn. So anytime anyone needs to pay anything, and they don't have up onto the amount that they needed to pay, whether to another player or to back to the cash vault, then that person would need to lose a turn. One more thing, if you land in any of this bit here, then what you do is you get to roll the dice again. So I meant you get to keep the other people at bay. So that's another option of landing there. When you combine your numbers, if it's level 2, you add them or subtract them or take away or divide. Sorry, you add them or subtract them or divide and multiply. Then if you end up with an odd number, you go that way. You see it says odd here. And if you end up with an even number, you go down that way. If you land in any of this, then you pick up what we call a credit token, which is here. Keep them secret and don't let anyone know. When you have 200 credits, because your first goal is to get 200 credits. When you have 200 credits, your next goal is to land on one of this. And all the while, before you have 200 credits, you're going round the circle. It takes roughly about 20 to 30 minutes for 2 to 3 players. And oh yeah, one very important thing, you don't need to count. So for example, if I'm here and I roll 2 12s, 144. For example, that's 144 when you multiply those two. I don't need to count 144 numbers. It's like a clock, because around here is 60 spaces around the board. So guess what? You don't actually need to count. If you think about a clock and you're thinking, what time is it in 144 minutes time? You're not going to go around and count each different minute for 144 times. Yes, you kind of go twice around the clock, and that's 120 minutes. So really, you've only then got 24 minutes to move, which is 144 minus 120 minutes to move. So if I were say I was here and I needed to move 144 spaces, I'd literally, and if you look at there's 60 spaces around the board, it's split into 3 equal parts. So that's 20 spaces. From here to here is 20 spaces. From here to here, 20 spaces. And from here to here, 20 spaces. Also, one quick thing, from here to here is 5 spaces, and from here to here is 5 spaces, from here to here 5 spaces, and also from here to here is 10 spaces, here to here is 10 spaces, and here to here is 30 spaces. Do you see? So then if I were to move 144 spaces from here, twice around the board is back to here, so all I really have to do is 20, 24 if I'm going that way. Or if I decide I want to move this way instead, then it's 20 and 24. And don't forget, for level 1, it's just plus and minus only, and not plus, minus, multiply, or divide. So for younger children, you might want to do level 1. Level 1 is fun, actually. It's also a different game entirely, and then level 2 as well is. And also for level 1, you need only 100 credits to actually go in and start to win. All right? So start to go towards infinity. Now, one more thing, if you're inside here and you roll numbers, say for example you roll a 6 and a 12 and you're here, that means that all options would possibly, well, apart from 2. So the only option you'd be able to take here actually is a 12 divided by 6, which is 2. Because every other option, if you do 12 plus 6, 12 minus 6, or 12 times 6 would lead you back out of this path going to infinity. And the same goes here, the same goes here. And this is the only instance in which you're allowed not to move if it's going to lead you out. But as long as there's an option, like 12 and 6, 12 divided by 6, which is 2, then you must move that. If you have all 4 options, or are going to lead you back out, or past infinity, then you're allowed not to move on that occasion. Also, if you're on here, the other times you don't move is if you're on here, for example, or anywhere, and you roll two numbers that are the same, so you roll a 6 and a 6, you can do 6 minus 6, and that leads you back onto the same spot. So if you're actually on a token credit spot, then you just get to pick up another token credit. That's all. All right. So, and if you need to pay anyone in here, you can get banished though from here. You can get banished from here to the odds lock or the evens lock. And also, if you need to pay anyone and you don't have, if you're not going to have up to 200 credits anymore because you're in here by paying them, then you wouldn't pay them. You lose a ton instead because you can't go lower than 200 credits or 100 credits, as the case may be, whether it's with level 2 or level 1 that you got in here with. Alright, so those are the main rules of Race to Infinity. I hope I haven't missed anything.